What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Rants with Rage. I am your host, as always, Hugh, and today we're going to be talking about the top games that I played in 2019. Now, all of these games may not be games that came out in 2019, but these are the top games that I played in 2019. Not to be confused that all of these games are going to be something that came out in 2019. But before we get into that, I just want everybody to know that I stream over at Twitch at twitch.tv/HughRageous Sunday through Friday, starting around 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you want to come hang out, talk about some of these games or any topic you would like to, come on over, hang out, man. So let's get into it. At number 10, we have Devil May Cry 3. So, with the release of Devil May Cry 5, I decided to go back and play all the Devil May Crys. Now, this is kind of, I guess, cheating a little bit because I have played Devil May Cry 3 in the past, but it had been so long since I had played it that I really didn't remember much about it. But going back and playing it, this is an awesome game, man. Like, the Devil May Cry series kind of confuses me because of like timelines and stuff. Like, I think 3 is like supposedly the first one, and just the whole Star Wars type of thing. It confuses me, but I love this game. The plot, the gameplay. I think this one, as far as like the special weapons you get for like Dante and stuff, it's one of the it's one of the best ones for things like that. I really enjoyed the game. I would say if you like the Devil May Cry, if you played Devil May Cry 5 and you never played the other ones, definitely give this one a go. It's definitely worth it. All right, so let's get into the next one. At number 9, we have Neo. Now, this game was brutal, man. Like 100% brutal. I played through this with my buddy Todd, and we went through complete hell to beat this game. This game probably would have got like, probably wouldn't even made it on my top 10 if we didn't play it the way we did. Because it truly felt like we accomplished something when we beat this game. Just a little spoiler alert. So cover your ears for 2 seconds if you don't want to hear this. At the end, there was fucking 7 bosses, and we had to beat all of them in one health bar because of the way that we played it. This game, it was hard, but we felt like we accomplished something. We may have lost a little bit of ourselves in the end to this game, but we felt like we accomplished something. We had a lot of fun with it, and it definitely deserved to make this list. So let's move on to the next one. At number 8, we have Realm Royale. So you're like, I know you're probably sitting there and you're like, how did Realm Royale make it onto this list? Dude, me and my friends had so much fun on this game for quite some time, man. I honestly think it's one of the better battle royale games, in my personal opinion. I like it a lot better than things like Fortnite. I might catch a lot of hate for that, but I really enjoyed this game. We had so much fun with this game. Sure, it has its problems. It probably would have made it on his list, higher on this list, if it didn't have these problems, but sound bugs, stuff like that, a lot of bugs that kind of messed with the guns a little bit, it seemed like. But in the end, we had so much fun with this. We turned out to be really good at this game, and I really enjoyed it. So it had to make it on my list. So moving on, let's get into number 7. We have Silent Hill 1. So for a lot of people that don't know, like, I've seen the ending to this game like when I was a kid, but through all my life, a lot of my life, I was actually scared of this game, like terrified of it. But I sat down with my stream and I got through, and it is an amazing game. I wish it wouldn't have taken me so long to beat this game, honestly. But playing through it, it was a really good game. I don't really remember which ending I got. I think I went for the best ending that you could possibly get. Maybe eventually I'll go back and try to get one of the other ones. But I had a lot of fun with this game. Dialogue, well, voice acting, I guess you would say, wasn't the best. Sometimes it could be pretty bad, but I think it actually added to the flair of the game, honestly, because, you know, it is an older game and, you know, most of the voice acting back then wasn't particularly the best anyways. So I think it just added to the game. Sometimes the gameplay, like the controls, like how they were back then, kind of screwed me up. But getting past that, it was a really good game. I enjoyed the story, and I had a lot of fun with it. So we're going to move on to number 6. We have the Resident Evil 2 remake. Now, honestly, this is something that I really wasn't too excited for at first, and I kind of got talked into playing it more from like people in my chat. But playing the game, it was a lot of fun. Like, I have played, I believe, through the original before, back in the day, and just seeing how well they remade this game. It looks beautiful. It plays just amazingly, like how they turned it into a more modern shooter, but still kept the horror aspects of it. It was great, man. I enjoyed this game a lot. The only thing that made it to where it didn't make it higher on my list, I would say, is I really didn't enjoy a lot of the time that you spent, I felt, running away from Mr. X. I didn't enjoy that aspect of it. That was the only thing that really put this game lower on my list than it would have been, or it definitely would have been higher without that aspect. I still need to actually go back and beat Claire's campaign, or Claire's B campaign, because I beat Leon's first. And I believe there's more for me there. But other than that, I thought it was a really good game, and it deserved to be on my list. So let's move on to number 5. We're getting into the top 5, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in at number 5 is Final Fantasy 9. And you're probably sitting there and you're like, how in the heck is Final Fantasy 9 in your top 10, not only top 10, but top 5 games of 2019? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because I had so much fun playing this game. Like, besides the combat, which you know, it's just like that in JRPGs. It's a grind. But with there being no voice acting in this game, I actually voice acted this whole game for my chat on stream. And man, some days I would get off and I could barely freaking talk afterwards. But it was so much fun doing that. And the story of this game was really good. It's probably like my second favorite Final Fantasy game behind 7. It really is. The only thing that put it off from being higher on my list, and spoiler alert, I didn't get the ending. To me, I felt the bad guy at the end came out of nowhere, and I just did not understand that part of it. That's the only thing that kind of turned me off to it. Just, you know, the rest of the game was put together like amazingly, in my opinion. Is amazingly even a word? I need to look that up because I've been using it a lot. But I think they put this game together perfectly. Perfectly is a word, so we'll use that one. It was a great game. I enjoyed voicing the characters. I enjoyed the storyline as a whole. Combat kind of but I loved the game. So let's move on to number 4. Coming in at number 4 is Remnant from the Ashes. I wouldn't say that I put a whole lot of time into this game, but in playing through it with my friends and in beating it, it just put a new spin on the Souls type game that I really enjoyed. The story was okay. It's not the best in the world. And that's not why it received such a high place on my top 10 games. It received such a high place for the locations that you visit. I feel that they did a good job with designing them. I really enjoyed the gameplay. Definitely the multiplayer aspect, because I don't know if this was a big thing for me. So for anyone who's played the Souls games, you usually have to, use a small white soapstone or a white soapstone, not a small. I don't even know if those were in anything besides 2. To summon your friends. And the thing that I really enjoyed about Remnant was the fact that you could bring your friends in and they were there. They were there in your world with you nonstop. You could, fight as many bosses you want. They were there. And I really like that part about the game. It's a big step forward. And I think that, maybe other games in the Souls that take it, many games that take from the Souls series should implement this. I think even the Souls series, or any games that they make in the future like them, that is from software, they should think about implementing this too, because I really think it's a step in the right direction for multiplayer in these types of games. But the gameplay was good. Going into the lore and reading it, the story is really good, but the way it was brought to you in the game isn't the best. But overall, I thought it was an amazing game, and I think it deserved to be on this list as well. So we're going to move in to number 3. Coming in at number 3 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the 2019 version. Now, it hasn't been out a long time, and it's in my top 3. The reason being is because this is probably, and I've said this before on another video, this is probably my favorite Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 3. 100%. Like, people could say Black Ops 2 was good. In my personal opinion, fuck that. I didn't like it. Modern Warfare 3 was a great game to me. And then this comes after that, dude. This is my number 3 Call of Duty game of all time. It's Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, this game right here. I love this game. Gunfight, an amazing mode. They took Modern Warfare 3's 2v2 and just made it 100 times better. Dude, Gunfight is like the best Call of Duty mode that they have made in years, in my opinion. They do make a lot of mistakes. I feel it'd probably be 2 or 1 in my opinion, with if the spawns weren't so shitty. I really don't understand how a company that's made these games for this many years messes up on the spawns that bad, like so much, in my opinion. But besides that, and the few problems they had with weapons in the beginning, the multiplayer, I haven't played any other aspects of the game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not basing it on that. I'm basing it just on the multiplayer. I love it. It deserves to be in my top 3. Because I've put I don't know how many hours in that. I know I have like almost 4 days playtime in this game already. That's insane compared to other things that I play. So it definitely deserves to be in my top 3 because it's an amazing multiplayer experience. I can't say it's an amazing game in a whole because I've never played the single player, never played the Spec Ops missions or none of that, but based on the multiplayer, it's an amazing game, and it deserves to be in my list. So moving on to number 2. Coming in at number 2, we have Devil May Cry 5. Now I know I talked to you a little bit in the beginning of this video about how I played the other ones to get to this point. 3 made the list. 1 and 2 to me weren't all that great. 4 was a really good game, but it just wasn't that great to make my top 10. But 5, man, 5 took me on a journey, man. It really did. 100% the gameplay, amazing, man. The story I thought was definitely the best in the series. I can't wait to see where they take it from here. The graphics were just fucking beautiful. It was a great game. It was definitely almost my number 1 game of the year. If the first game in my list wouldn't have been as good as it was, this definitely would have made it to the top. Taking nothing from this game because it is mind-blowing. Just the climax of the story and of one of the characters and the climax of the game itself was just so... It was so emotional if you played through the rest of the games coming into this one. And it literally made me cry. I'm not even going to lie to you. It made me shed tears. And not many games could do that these days. Not many games did that at all. So it definitely deserves to be up there on my list. And if you like these type of games, I would definitely say go out and buy this game today and play it because you will love this game. It also has a thing that gets you caught up with the story. I don't know how good it is because I didn't watch it because I played the rest of the game to lead into this game, but definitely deserves to be number 2 on my list. So let's get into it, the bread and butter of this top 10 games that I played in 2019. Let's get into number 1. And coming in at number 1, I know a lot of people seen this one coming, especially people that watch my streams. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I have never had so much fun, but yet been so infuriated at a game in my life. And I've played a lot. I've played all the From Software's like current games like Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1 through 3. All of those. Sekiro is just, it's like the same experience, but a different experience at the same time because you don't have the multiplayer aspect of it. It's straight single player. It's a lot more parry focus. Besides one of the bosses as you kind of fight later on, that's optional in my opinion. You couldn't really parry him that good. But I still got through it, man. Through a lot of rage. And a lot of feeling of accomplishment, man. This game really, by the time I beat the last boss, I felt like I really accomplished something. Beating this game gave me that sense of accomplishment. I love games like that. Those are my favorite games. Like, I don't particularly mind games that are easy, but I love a challenge. That's just me. And that's why this game got number 1, is it pushed me to my limits and made me overcome them. And at the end, I stood victorious over this game. And, you know, a lot of people can't do that in Sekiro and give up on it. I think this deserved to be my number 1. This got Game of the Year. I think it deserved that, honestly. A lot of people think Red Dead, but see, me personally, I hated Red Dead 2. Didn't like it. Sekiro was my number 1 Game of the Year because gameplay story, all of it. To me, story wise, like just straight up in your face, what they tell you, this is the best From Software has ever done, in my opinion. And it definitely deserved to be not my number one. But I hope you guys enjoyed my top 10 games I played in 2019. We'll be back next week with another episode of Rants with Rage. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you got any topics you want me to go over, go ahead and feel free to leave them in the comment section. And if it's something that I feel like that I would like to discuss, I will do so. But I hope all of you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.